Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. This is for the week of Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. Okay. I'm remembering how to play. I haven't played this game in literal months. So, let's try it. I gotta do that shit, don't I? Okay. Oops, not that. If I sound out of breath, it's partly because I just biked home from Wawa, and partly because I just had one hell of a scare. I was biking home, I got a text from Anubis, and I decided, hey, I'll listen to him. I haven't talked to him in a bit. I texted him at first, and I'm like, no, I'm outside, I've got good reception, I'll give him a call. Because the text was just a couple minutes ago, despite it being like 1:30 in the morning at the time. So we chat about some, general bullshit, and I start getting close to home, and as I turn on the street that will eventually lead to my street, I smell a lot of smoke, and I'm thinking, oh man, something's burning, something caught fire, Ooh, I got a water source already? Damn, that's pretty rockin'. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty goddamn cool. Hi, Chala. But anyway, I can tell something's burning, and I'm kind of remarking it to him, and at this point I'm reasonably close to home, so I'm a little concerned, as you rightly would be. And then I turn on my street, and the smell's getting worse, and up ahead I can see, not sirens, police lights, or emergency lights, let's call it that instead. Let me remember how I do this. It's been a long time. There we go. We'll do this as camp. Perfect, okay. That's where water is. And at the time, I'm still quite a ways away, but it looks, comparable to where I lived, and that had me concerned, like my legs were shaking when I got home. And the closer I got, the more it looked like it was parked, like, on my block. And once I finally got in range, I could tell that no, it wasn't parked on my block, it was actually parked, like, a street down, which is only slightly less alarming, because it's still near my house, but at least it's not my house. And fire trucks weren't there. As far as I could tell, it was just cops, so I don't know, maybe someone burned some trash or had a hell of a barbecue, as I joked to Anubis. But I had a bit of a startle, and it was quite alarming. But as you no doubt noticed, this is not Minecraft, nor is it on the PS3. This is 7 Days to Die on the PlayStation 4 out in the living room. Oh, hi, Chala. Which is why T'Challa is out here, because he doesn't usually come in the room when I'm recording. But he is here now because I am sitting next to his spot. He likes to sit up on the couch on the blanket that I gave him. And that's where he was a second ago. And, oh, he's on the other side of the couch now. He's hard to keep track of because the light's out and he's jet black, so. But anyway, a month ago, maybe 2, I went with Mom and my aunt to this store called Five Below, where they, sell everything for $5 or below. That's the tagline. And anyway, I was looking to pick up a couple electronic things if I could find them, and I managed to find a USB stick, which I think was 32 gigabytes? 62 or 32, or 16 or 32, I don't remember. It's a decent price, all things considered. Not the greatest of things, but not anything to sneer at either. And I picked it up, and it's mine now. And the plan is to record little 45-minute or less bouts here on the PlayStation 4 of this and other games with voice. I'm recording this with live audio, unless something went wrong. But I'm recording with this live audio, and I'll just upload it straight to YouTube when I get it back on the computer. Because for unspecified reasons, I cannot get the damn PlayStation to recognize any of my YouTube accounts on any of my PlayStation 4 accounts. And it's more than a little maddening. So, what we're going to do is we are going to do the bedroll that it wants me to make. But yeah, I've been wanting to do 7 Days to Die for a while, and I just haven't had the means. And really, I haven't touched the PS4 in weeks, maybe even a month or more. But I'm touching it now, as you can tell. There we go. That's the shortcut I'm looking for. And, the plan is I'll just do this little recording. You know, pick that up. Do this recording. If it works, I'll make it a thing. I've tried to do it in the past, and for whatever reason I couldn't transfer the damn thing, so that just turned into a pain in the ass. There we go. That's what I need right there. I had it. There we go. I want this. This is coal. But, I'm talking quietly. I don't know if you can tell, because the mic is pretty much in my mouth. But I'm talking quietly so I don't wake the roommate up. Not a lot really happened. Monday I didn't have a recording with Eisen, although yesterday, Tuesday, I did, and it went off pretty well. We got through a lot of the shit we've been, you know, having to get through for a while. A decent amount of progress was made in the 2 episodes that we did. And I suspect even more will be done next week. I actually had a good run at Pokemon today, despite only having 2 wins out of 3 matches. Out of 2 matches. 2 of those wins were in the same match. It was a 2-on-2 match. My partner and I won. Which is rare for me, because usually, as I was explaining to Anubis, and as I explained to them, I'm not very good in those matches, because A, my partner doesn't necessarily cover for me. Because when you're in a 2-on-2, when you play doubles, if you're good at it, your Pokemon cover each other. Well, when you're in 2-on-2, half your team belongs to your opponent, or your partner rather, and it's completely out of your hands. You know, there's little to nothing you can do about it, and it sucks a dick. Alright, I need a stone, please. This is just so I can find the coal in a minute. I'm not hoping to unearth a stone here. It'd be nice, but I don't see that happening, really. But, fuck it, we're just gonna punch this thing for a minute. Perfect. Oops. Let's get a couple more of those so I can repair it again in the near future. Hostiles are off. Zombies will not spawn in this. This is just pure make shit, gather shit. You know, don't die kind of shit. So, expect to see a lot of that. But yeah, today I actually played a more support-based Pokemon team, including Guzzlord, which is really funny because I got on this one channel where someone was asking shit about Smogon, And I do not like Smogon because they try and pass themselves off as competitive. And they're not. They ban shit for arbitrary reasons. Like, they have a ban on evasion. Evasion being the higher your evasion, the more chance your opponent's going to miss. You know? And they have a flat ban on evasion. If you do anything to boost your evasion, you're disqualified. You lose. And that is bullshit, because that's not competitive. That's like playing dodgeball, but you're not allowed to move. You know? And they tried to basically say, well, that's a no skill strategy. I'm like, what do you mean no skill? You need skill to be able to build a decent evader, especially since evasion isn't necessarily a guarantee. Even if your evasion is all 6 levels increased, and your opponent's levels have been decreased all 6 levels of accuracy, they can still hit you. There are moves that can always hit you. If you use Minimize, for example, which is a move that raises your your evasion 2 stages out of 6. If you use Minimize, then if your opponent uses Stomp, not only will it always hit, period, no wiggle room, but it will also do extra damage. I think it does like double damage or something. So, what it is they don't want to be bothered to actually learn how to work around things like evasion, and they can't be bothered to work auto-hit moves in, because there are 18 different kinds of moves, and there's something along the lines of 10 different types of auto-hit moves. Like, there's one for normal, there's one for steel, there's one for dark, there's one for flying, and that flying one is learnable by goddamn everything. You know, almost everything can learn the flying or dark ones. So, there's literally no excuse not to do so. And it's just, they're too lazy. They don't want to bother with that shit. And here's the thing. If Smogon wants to have their own rules and say, hey, this is the casual Pokemon play, we don't want a lot of megas cluttering up the ranks, we don't want people whipping out legendaries, we don't want evasion and accuracy frustrating the players, you know what? I'm with you. That's cool. I'm all for it. Separate your Pokemon into tiers, you know. Ban evasion, ban accuracy, ban putting more than one Pokemon at a time to sleep, because that's frustrating as shit to deal with. By all means, do all of those things. But do not do all of those things and then call yourself competitive. Because my competitive ass can deal with that shit. And they're like, well, what happens if you have an opponent who puts your whole team to sleep? Then I lose. If I can't counter that, then I lose. And that's not the end of the fucking world. I don't have to win every fucking match I'm in. I lost a match today. I lost a match today to a player who has beaten me so few times that he actually can count how many times he's beaten me. You know? And I'm not saying that as a crack to him, but he's actually like, dude, I've beaten you 3 whole times. I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of sad that you know exactly how many times you've beaten me. You know, I can't tell you the number of times I've beaten anyone. Although partly that's because I can't remember shit, you know. It is an established fact that unless you have some extremely distinguishing feature, like for example Skinner has a very red face, you know. His face looks kind of like he's sunburned and his skin peeled off, but that's not the case because I've lived with him and that's been a constant thing, you know. So unless he has a daily ritual where he skins his face, that's just not how that works. But unless you have some kind of really distinguishing feature, I can't tell who the hell you are. You know, until I've met you multiple times. It's just how things are, you know? Alright, let's get this. And this. Well, the good news is I don't at all have to worry about water. I mean, the water I get isn't going to be great until I have some way to do something with it, but seriously, normally when I play this game, I have to search for hours to find a water source of any kind. So, the idea that I literally started with one is really blows my mind. And multiples. I'm on a fucking island. I've never had this happen before. I've never just flat out had water. Speaking of water, I'm gonna need to get some supplies. Some real eats and drinks supplies. Oh, let me get this. Also, let's gather this, because I can. But yeah, I actually trained up somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 12 Pokemon between last Tuesday and yesterday, with one of them being bred, hatched, and trained to level 100 between midnight and 8 a.m. in the morning, you know, so I fucking broke out the stops. So I'm rather pleased with it, and one of my Pokemon, one of my newbies, my Trevenant, which is this ghost grass type, it's basically a haunted tree. Oh, this Trevenant did everything I could have ever hoped for. Oh look, I found a place to stay. This is a good run. I'm liking this. I'm looking forward to this. I hope that this saves properly so I can keep doing this run. But anyway, my Trevenant, not every, but we're going to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 95% of Pokemon have what's called a hidden ability. Because every Pokemon has an ability, and most also have a hidden ability. And Trevenant's hidden ability is called Harvest. And what Harvest does is, if your Pokemon has a berry and it eats that berry, then there is a 50% chance at the end of every turn that it will recreate that berry. It'll just grow that berry right back. And if the sun is out, like with Sunny Day or with the harsh sunlight from Desolate Earth, or Desolate Land rather, from Primal Groudon, then it is 100% guaranteed to be out. Period. It'll always come back. So I'm sitting here with my my citrus berry, which heals. It used to heal 30 hit points. Now it heals like a certain fraction of your health. You know, a decent chunk. It's a good amount. But in addition to this, this is an interesting place. I'm gonna have to fix her up at the shit out of this later. But in addition to that, I have a lot of what's called sustain. Sustain is a shorthand for... Oh my god, I've got a pot. Oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I have a fucking pot. Oh my fucking god. This is the run from heaven. This is a fucking literal blessed run. I have so much must-have shit handed to me. I have water sources. I have a fucking cooking pot. I have a can. Shit, man, there's water in my basement. I don't even have to leave the house. That scared the crap out of me for half a second. Shit, I don't even have to leave to get water. This is fucking cool. I normally have to sustain my water with fucking snow or something stupid like that. This is kicking ass. But anyway, sustain is basically shorthand for this Pokemon has a way to restore its own hit points. Things like Mega Drain, or Absorb, or Leech Life, or in my case, Horn Leech, which is a Grass-type move, and Drain Punch, which is a Fighting-type move. There's also a move called Ingrain, where basically it locks you into the fight. You can't retreat. You can't be forced out of the fight either. But it locks you in place, and you recover, I think it's like a 16th or an 8th of your health at the end of every turn. And that's also a thing that both Trevenant and its pre-evolution Phantom can learn. Well, my Trevenant has a Citrus Berry with Harvest, so that's some sustain right there. It's got Horn Leech, so if it's fighting something that's weak to grass types, it'll get sustain that way. And it's got Drain Punch, so if it's fighting something that's weak to fighting types, it'll get sustain that way. Basically, I'm going to heal constantly. And this was apparent with my opponent until he finally whipped out something that could just literally one-shot me. Because he'd hit me, and he'd take me down to like a quarter health, and then I'd eat my Citrus Berry and get half my health back. Oh dear, this is a bit of a thing, isn't it? Breathe, please. There's a fucking gun safe down here, man. But yeah, what would happen is he'd hit me, and then knock me down to like a quarter of my health. And then I would eat the Citrus Berry, and then I'd either Horn Leech him, or I would Drain Punch him and get even more health back. And then he'd hit me again, and the turn would end, and I would harvest the berry back. And then I'd heal again. And basically, until he could hit me in one shot and take me out, he couldn't do anything. All he could do is just drag the fight out a little bit longer. And it was driving him nuts, and I was just laughing my ass off. It was great. It was especially great because that was exactly what the Trevenant had been intended to do, and it worked even better than I hoped it would. So that was just gold star right there. I'm so pleased with Trevenant. He's going to work his way into a lot of my teams in the future. I can just feel it. I noticed earlier today, at the venue that is. Sorry. I noticed earlier today at the venue that I have most of the Kalos Dex Pokemon at level 100, fully trained and shit, so I think that's going to be my next project for the near future, is to finish the Kalos Dex. Because I wanna. It's really just that simple. I fucking wanna. And it's within my means to do so I'm gonna. Well, that's actually kind of nice. So yeah, this is going to be my base of operations. I'm probably going to pretty it up at some point. But for now, I like this. This is everything I need right now. It's got a bedroll, so I can save here if I die for some reason. It's ugly, but it's nothing that I can't in time patch up and make look good. I can scaffold all this shit. I can potentially make some kind of opening down there that'll snorkel me back up or whatever. I'll figure something out, I'm sure. I've got lots of storage space here and there and everywhere else. I've got pots. I've got room for cooking. I've got extra water supplies. I've got a fucking gun now. That's a thing. Yeah, this is some hardcore shit right here. Alright, let's put this ugly fiber shit on, shall we? Let's wear the hood, and then replace it with the hat. And wear this ugly thing, and this ugly thing, and this ugly thing. And we'll scrap this into usable materials. Okay, we're gonna craft a club, even though I'm not gonna use a club. Let's be real here. I'm not using a club, rather. It's going to want a bow in a minute. It's going to want 3 arrows, which I have the means to make. And then it's going to want the interesting thing. Yup, these, the wood frames. It's all coming back to me, man. It's all fucking coming back. So, let's start with this. This is a good spot to start with wooden frames. This is Kyrix's purification campaign. Take 1. And honestly, you know what? I don't care. Actually, let me check something real quick. Yeah, that repairs. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, all I gotta do is break it up a little bit, put a new one in its place, and then just fix it up. Or put a new, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, basically just rough it up a little bit and then do my magic like this. Perfect. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, about that campfire, because I'm definitely going to need one of those. There we go, right there. Yeah, this shit's first class. I love it. So yeah, we're going to take this right here. Gonna break up this piece of crap, this ember pile. Put this in its place. Hang this right here. We'll deal with that later. Hang this right here for now. Okay, cool. We're gonna take one of these here potted plant, or not potted plants, but pots, and put it right there. And that's just a thing that'll be. And we're gonna learn leather chest armor. But yeah, we're gonna take this bottled water, and we are gonna make lots of it. We're gonna make 4 of it, in fact, and we're gonna take some of this coal and put it like so. And then we're gonna cook up some water. So yeah, that's working pretty damn good, actually. So yeah, I don't know if I regaled everyone with the tale of getting my my new swim trunks, because I went out and I got swim trunks in preparation for going to Adventure Island, because that's the thing I wanted to do, obviously. Did I not? Oh, like that, okay. And that's, like I said, that's something I wanted to accomplish. And when I got there, it was early morning, so I didn't really get anything done, if you know what I'm saying. Oops, not that. But I went early morning, you know, my bike was on the fritz, So I got to Walmart, and the changing, or not changing room, yeah, the changing rooms were locked for whatever reason. I guess they lock them when there's no employee on hand, so I didn't have a chance to check the size of the swim trunks, because Walmart actually does frown on people stripping butt-ass naked in their store. I don't know if you know this, but they do. It's kind of a thing. But seriously, it's So I got home and I was exhausted because it was early morning, and I had my insomnia thing going, so I didn't get shit done, basically. And I came home and I didn't try them on, because why would I, you know? That requires motivation that I just do not have. And sorry, I'm kind of trying to do this at the same time. Anyway, I came home. You know, the next day I finally tried to put them on, and they wouldn't go on over my fat-ass legs. I say fat, but in reality my legs are just raw, solid muscle. They really are. About the only part of my body that can boast that. But, my friend once joked, and it kind of applies to me, that he had the legs of an ox and a body of a cow. That's pretty accurate for both of us, to be perfectly honest. This place is already looking a little bit better. Well, shit, I don't need to tear shit down. I could just do this. This is so much easier, actually. I'm already enjoying this so much more. Oh, I need wood. I need more wood. So yeah, this is actually kind of working in my favor. Trying to remember what the hell it was in this game, what skill it was that I needed to have a decent construction level for. Because there was something that I wanted to have a good high construction for, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, but yeah, I went back the next day, went to exchange. They're like, you want your money back? You want an exchange? I'm like, no, I want an exchange. So I went back and spent about 5 minutes. First off, trying to find my size in swim trunks, and then finding them the same price range, because I bought the cheap ones at about $9 when most of them were in the $14 range. You know? And I could have actually covered higher than that if I had to, but I didn't want to, for obvious reasons. You know, when you're poor, you don't want to spend extra money if you don't have to. And I had a couple false starts, like I thought, oh, maybe just a size a couple bigger, and then I needed a size bigger than that. Yeah. But it all worked out in the end, really. I got my swim trunks. I was pleased with it. We're gonna scrap that. We're gonna make a new stone club, a better stone club. The kind of stone club I can be proud to own. Nice little level 4 stone club, I guess. That works, I suppose. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but I can work with it. Honestly, I'm really glad to be out here playing the PS4 again. It's a lot of fun. I'm still in the process of seeing if and when Anubis is going to move in, which hopefully will be a yes, and around November will be the answers to those particular questions. Because I wanted to move in for a myriad of reasons. For one thing, it'll give me someone to talk to. You know, for another thing, it will lighten the rent load in a big, big way. And I cannot overstate enough. I cannot possibly overstate, period, how much that matters to me. To be able to save even $50 on the rent. But there's a couple logistics to work out, like he does BMX racing, and there's the matter of getting him there, and so on. And there's a couple things to figure out. Honestly, it could very well be not till December that he does move in. You know, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But I'm going to be trying to make headway in that regard, because I wanted to move in here for him as well, because he's been having a shitty deal for a long time, and I want him better off. You know, he's my friend. I care about his condition. I don't want him getting screwed out of his money, for example. I don't like that he has money that he can't do anything with. I mean, granted, I have money that I can't do anything with, but I can choose, if I wanted to drop the girls' vet payments. You know, I could choose to find even cheaper food for them. You know, I could choose to cut the wet food out and save myself about $10 a month. You know, I could choose to do any of these things, and I don't, because I want quality of life for my pets as much as myself. More than myself, to some extent. You know. It's a matter of some concern to me. I care about whether they're doing good or not. So we're gonna put these in the nom nom slot. Oh, hi Maya. Where did they go? Why did they not? But yeah, still no word on how that's gonna progress or if it's gonna progress, but I'm doing my best to make something happen with it, so here's hoping that'll go good for both of us. Now, there's no word on whether or not he'll resume doing Let's Plays with me, or whether I'll eventually get him to resume/finish Resident Evil 5, or any other future ones in the future, that is. We'll see what comes of that. Actually, as of yesterday, if I recall, I both recorded and I believe aired. Maybe it airs today. Although this probably won't even air today, but I mean, by now, by the time you hear this, I will have debuted the first of one of my 2 new segments that I do as a Let's Play, which is Nostalgia Trip and Blast from the Past. Nostalgia Trip being me playing 8 and 16-bit games from my childhood, and Blast from the Past is me playing 8-bit and 16-bit games from when I was a child that I did not grow up with, you know. Like, for example, the first game I did was Altered Beast, and oh boy, I did badly. I used the Sonic Sega Arcade Classics, or whatever the fuck it's called, Ultimate Collection version for the PlayStation 3. It was cool. You know, I had fun with it. And I said right off the bat, this is not going to be me showing off how awesome I am. This is me just sharing a game from my childhood. You know, so don't expect, you know, even my usual level of quality playing. And I certainly delivered that. In short, I got a game over on the 3rd of 5 levels. But in the process, I actually unlocked the arcade version of Altered Beast, and I'm like, fuck it, let's play the arcade version, you know, just for shits and giggles. And with the arcade version, although it was much harder because it was designed to eat quarters, you know, with the arcade version, I actually showed off the entire game because, hold on, because the arcade version had basically an infinite quarters mode. If I died, I just press start and I'd continue again. You know, just like in an arcade, you die, you pop another quarter, you're good for more. You know, that's what we were looking at, and that's what was delivered. So, okay, that's the wood foundation, at least. That's something to work with. Speaking of wood, I've still got quite a bit, but not nearly enough. Not at the corn. Not at the rate I've been going. My god, this place is the fucking gift that keeps on giving. Oh my god, I love it. Nom 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 nom. Oh, Jesus Christ, this place just, it is the best. I have never started at a place this good. Ever in my fucking life. Swear to God, I'm one mining helmet away from just, you know, having a fucking nerdgasm right here, because this place is just giving me everything I want and need. Oh, is this, potentially another way in? I mean, I don't want to fuck with it, because look at it, but, it could be potentially another way in. This is some kind of, what is it, rock salt, I think? Something like that? Nitrous powder, that's what it is. I knew it was something like that. Well, let's patch this up a little bit more, shall we? Cool. Here's more, and yet another cave. This place is just amazing. A fucking resource haven. We're actually just gonna... we're gonna fucking call it here in a minute. I'm going to repair one or two more things. Just minor shit. If I can find another door to fix, we'll fix that up. This'll do. Oops, don't want it that fixed exactly. That'll do. But yeah, look at this. This is pretty fucking bitchin'. Alright, we're gonna call it here, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.